February 24th, I went to an 11 dive meet. Even though I only got in 4th place, I still beat my school's diving record for 11 dives by over 30 points. And now, near the end of the season, I have decided to make a video just to show off a little bit of the diving that I have learned over the season. I dive at the Gates Chili High School pool, and here is a picture of the big GC that is on the bottom of the pool in the shallow end. And this is a picture of me with my swimming coach and my diving coach. This is the record board at my school, and highlighted inside the green box is the record that I broke. It is from 2006, and I was able to beat this record by around 30 points. Before we get to watching the dives, let me explain how this scoring procedure works. So, there's either 3 or 5 judges. If there's 5 judges, we drop the high score and the low score and take the middle 3. Then we add up those 3 scores together. For the purpose of this demonstration, let's say that the person diving got a 7.5, 7.5, and 7.5. What we do then is multiply that score, which is 22.5, by the degree of difficulty. Let's just say that is 2.3. Then we take that added score, multiply it by the DD, and then we get the score for that one dive. And if it's a 6 dive meet, you'll do 6 dives and add up those 6 scores that you get from each dive. But if it's an 11 dive meet, then you just do the same thing, but with 11 dives. Okay, so this is my first dive. It is a 103B, forward 1 1/2 somersaults pike, 1.7. In other words, it is a front 1.5 somersault in a pike. This next dive is a 104C, forward 2 somersaults tuck, 2.2. This is pretty much a front double in a tuck position, and as you can see in the video, I come out quite a bit early, and as a result, land right on my butt. That was not very fun. This dive is a 105C, forward 2 1/2 somersaults tuck, 2.4. It is basically a forward 2.5 flips in tuck position, and this one was done in practice, and I was wearing that vest you see there, and basically what that vest does, in case I smack, like I do a belly flop or something, it'll protect me a little bit so it doesn't hurt quite as much. Alright, the next dive here is a 201B, back dive pike, 1.6. And this is just me standing on the end of the board backwards. I jump up, do a nice pike position at the top, and then dive in backwards. This one here is a 202A, back 1 somersault straight, 1.7. And this is just a back layout, and as you see, I over-rotated a little bit and made a bit of a splash when I went in. Alright, this is a 203C, back 1 1/2 somersault tuck, 2.0. This is just a back 1.5 flips in a tuck, and this was in practice, and this is pretty much one of the first ones I've ever did of this dive, and I don't like it because when you go in, it's actually a blind entry, and you can't see the water, so that makes it quite a bit more difficult. Yeah, as you see, my legs go over quite a bit, and it doesn't look very pretty in the slightest. Good! This one is a 301B, reverse dive pike, 1.7. And this is a reverse dive, which means that you go off the board forwards, just like you do like a normal front flip, but instead of doing front flips, you actually do a back flip. And in gymnastics, they call this a gainer sometimes, but in diving, it's called a reverse dive. And this is probably one of my best times that I've ever done this dive, and it looks really pretty. After this, there's going to be a slow motion version of the same dive. Alright, this is that same dive in slow motion. It's a reverse pike dive, and this one looks really cool in slow motion. You'll notice that my back is a little bit arched and my legs fall over just a little bit while I'm in the air, but I managed to right myself by the time I go into the water. Okay, this one here is a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. It's a reverse dive, so it's like the one I just did before this. But I do a full flip and I do it in a tuck. And as you'll notice, I open quite a bit too early, and I have to like bend myself in a weird way so that I don't smack, because that wouldn't be very fun, and I would get very poor scores if I were to do that. This is a 302B, reverse 1 somersault pike, 1.7. This is exactly the same as the dive you just saw, but it is in a pike position instead of a tuck. This is a 402B, inward 1 somersault pike, 1.7, and this is an inward dive. So that means I'll be standing backward on the end of the board, like I'd be going up to do a back dive, but instead when I jump backwards, I'll be flipping forwards. This is kind of scary because sometimes it'll look like you're gonna hit your head on the board, your face on the board, which is, trust me, not fun ever. But yeah, this is a 402B, just a 1 somersault, and it's in a pike. This is a 403C, inward 1 1/2 somersaults tuck, 2.2. This is just another inward dive. It's a 1 1/2 though, and I do it in a tuck position. This one is a 403B, inward 1 1/2 somersaults pike, 2.4. This is exactly the same as the dive I just did, except I'm doing it in a pike, which makes it just a little bit harder. This next dive here is a 404C, inward 2 somersaults tuck, 2.8. This is another inward dive, and it's just an inward double, so it's fairly difficult, but all I have to do is just jump backwards and flip as hard as I can to try to get myself fully upright before I enter the water. I'm not actually so good at that, and here is 2 clips of me doing that. Now we're going to move on to the twisting dives. This is a 51-22D, forward 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. This is going to be a twist. Basically, it's just a front flip, but I add another full twist into it to make it a little bit more challenging. This one here is a 51-32D, forward 1 1/2 somersaults, 1 twist free, 2.2. This is pretty much the same as the last dive, except I add another half of a flip. So basically when I come out, I just kind of flip a little bit more and get myself to going head first instead of feet first. This is a 51-34D, forward 1 1/2 somersaults, 2 twists free, 2.6. This is a very difficult dive. It's a forward 1 1/2 flips with 2 full twists, which makes it scary and really hard, and I never really got this one. When I was in practice, my face, from smacking so much, it got all swollen and red, and that wasn't very fun. So, yeah, I never actually competed this dive, because as you can see from the video, it is not good at all. This is the last dive. It is a 52-31D, back 1 1/2 somersaults, 1/2 twist free, 2.1. And basically this is a back layout half twist, except when I'm going over, I just kind of pull my body around and go in head first. Alright, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.